Okay, today we're going to talk about a girl named Caralee. Okay,
And
today we're going to talk about a girl named Caralee.
Years later, a girl adopted from Russia speaks out. I didn't try to kill my brother. Years later, a girl adopted from Russia
if you don't want to hear
I didn't
about
try to kill my brother.
almost say
So,
child
just a
abuse,
fair warning, if you don't want to hear about
all of that, a child who's been adopted and returned, neglect,
please exit
all
that
of that,
way.
a child who's been adopted
Okay,
and returned.
let's
Please
continue. Exit that way.
Let's get to it and do it.
Let's continue.
Okie dokie.
Let's get to it and do it.
1997,
A 9-year-old Russian girl was adopted by an American couple.
1997, a 9-year-old Russian girl
was adopted by an American couple who came to believe that she was capable of murder. She tried to toss her little brother off a 30-foot high deck.
She tried to
Eventually,
toss
the
her
couple
little
brought
brother
her back
off
to
a
Russia
30-foot
and left
high
her
deck.
there in a locked.
Eventually, the couple brought her back
Children's
to Russia
psychiatric
and left her
institute
there
48
in a
hours.
locked
Contribute
Children's Psychiatric
Troy
Institute.
Roberts.
48 hours.
Contribute
Radical everyday
Troy
development
Roberts
along the way for a show titled The
Radical
Perfect
everyday
Child aired
development
in 2000.
along the way for a show titled The Perfect Child aired
This is more
in
disturbing than you will
2000.
ever know.
Ever since then, Roberts was
more disturbing than you will ever know.
haunted by the
Ever
since then, Roberts was
and left wondering what happened
by
to the blue-eyed
dramatic
Russian
story.
girl.
And left wondering what happened
than
to
2
the
decades, they were
blue-eyed
returned
Russian girl.
Reunited
After
in North
more
Carolina.
than 2
Not
decades, they
far
were returned
from
where she lived.
Reunited in North Carolina.
And in the emotional
not
charge
far from where she lived.
interview that girl now an adult.
And in the emotional
provides Robert with
charge
an amazing interview that girl now an adult
details of her
provides
journey
Robert with
from
some amazing
locked
psychiatric ward in
details
Russia
of
to
her journey
finding
from
happiness
a
in the United
locked
States and what happened to the
psychiatric ward
perfect
in
child.
Russia
To finding happiness
Her
in the United States and what happened
odyssey
to the
begin
perfect
with
child.
Crystal and Jess.
Her
Those two.
Odyssey
An American
begin
couple
with
whose
Crystal
last
and
name
Jess.
of
48
those
hours
two.
is withholding to
An
protect their
American
privacy.
couple
Whose last traveled
name
halfway around the
48
world
hours
to
is
a Russian
withholding to
orphanage
protect their
hoping
privacy.
to find the
Traveled
halfway
loving
around
child
the world to a
finding
Russian orphanage hoping
to
to
find
find
loving
the
children in
loving
1997.
child for finding
When they finally
to
learned
find
what they
loving
were
children
going
in
to be able
1997.
to go over
When
to
they
Russia
finally
and pick up a
learned
little
what
boy
they
and
were
girl
going
their
to
own,
be able
it was
to
just a tremendous
go over
event.
to
Russia
Russia
and
and
pick
pick
up
up
a little boy and
Roberts
girl
at the
their own.
time.
It was
And
just
we
a
were
tremendous event.
very
Jesse
excited to
told
Crystal Roberts at the time.
They named their adoptive children
very excited
Caralee
to Crystal
and Joshua, but no longer
They named their adoptive children
after they
Caralee and
returned
Joshua,
to the
but
United
no longer.
States.
They said
Caralee
after
began
they
to
returned
behave
to the
badly.
United States. They
We
said
would
Caralee
see
began
her
to behave
staring
badly.
off
into the distance
We
blankly
would
in
see
a
her
trance-like
staring
state,
off
Jesse
into
explained.
the
distance blankly
There
in a
was
trance-like
a
state,
coldness
Jesse
in
explained.
her and an
There
anger,
was
Crystal added.
a
The little girl
coldness in
eventually
her
announced
and
that
an
she was hearing
anger,
voices and
Crystal
hallucinating.
added.
The
Then
little
the
girl eventually
unimaginable
announced that she was
occurred.
hearing
Crystal and
voices
Jess
and
say,
hallucinating.
Caralee
Then the unimaginable
tried to throw her
occurred.
brother
Crystal
off
and
a
Jess say
30-foot high deck
Caralee
outside
tried
her
to
home.
throw her
She
brother
had him in
off
her
a
arms and
30-foot
was going
high
to throw
deck
him over
outside
the
their
deck.
home.
Crystal
She
explained
had
to
him in her
Roberts.
arms and
2
was
decades
going to
throw
go
him
over
as
the
they
deck
stood
Crystal
together
explained
on the
to
deck,
Roberts,
with
2
Crystal
decades
demonstrating how her
ago
daughter
as they
held her
stood
brother
together
over
on
the
the
deck.
railing.
With
I just
Crystal
started
demonstrating how
screaming,
her
"Put him down,
daughter held
Caralee."
her brother
Caralee
over the
recalled,
railing.
"Put him
I
down."
just started
She said
screaming,
she
"Put him
asked
down,
Caralee,
Caralee.
"What are you doing?"
Caralee
And the
recalled,
child
"Put him down."
replied, "I'm
She
going
said
to
she
kill him."
asked Caralee, "What are you doing?"
The incident
and the child
seemed to take
replied, "I'm going to kill
on
him."
a life of its own. As
The
the couple took
incident
Caralee
seemed
to
to
see several
on a
psychiatrists.
life of its own.
One
As the couple
psychiatrist
took
who saw
Caralee
Caralee
to see
described her
several
as a
psychiatrists.
One psychiatrist who saw Caralee described her as a
homicidal risk and
likely a danger to the entire family.
Risk
The couple
and they
installed
likely a
elaborate
danger to
security
the
system.
entire
We've
family.
had
The
cameras
couple
installed and we
an
had alarms.
elaborate
Crystal
security
told
system.
Robert
We've had
cameras installed and we had alarms.
They sent the girl
Crystal told
for
Robert
several months
of treatment, but they say
They sent the girl
for several
but
months
say
of
they
treatment,
came to
but
believe
they
there was
say
no
tangible
but
improvement.
say they
although
came to believe
at
there
least
was
one
no
psychiatrist said
tangible
Caralee's
improvement,
behavior,
although
at least one
impeccable. Psychiatrists said
also
Caralee's
accused the
behavior
agency that helped
impeccable.
them find Caralee of hiding the full extent of her mental issues, and charged the agency the full extent of her mental issues, and charged the insurance coverage for treatment.
Feeling they were
They decided
out of
they had
options
no
and
choice but to
insurance
return
coverage
her
for
to Russia.
treatment.
They
To
decided
a child
they had no choice
psychiatric
but
facility,
to return her
where
to Russia.
physicians there
To
might
a child
have better
psychiatric
success
facility,
with her.
where physicians
And Troy
there
Roberts,
might
who was
have better
with them covering the
success
story,
with
gave her
his business
and Troy
card,
Roberts,
and
who was with them covering the story, gave her his business card
to hide
and
them
some
in her sock before she
shared a final
and told
tearful
her to
goodbye.
hide them in
The
her sock
heart-wrenching
before
story
she
aired in 2000.
shared
The show
a final
triggered
tearful
an
goodbye.
The heart-wrenching story
of
aired in
response from
2000.
viewers.
The show
And also
triggered
left
an
Roberts with a haunting
a response from
wondering what
viewers.
happened to her.
And also left
Incredibly,
Roberts with
the
a
girl
haunting
who now calls
mystery,
herself Sabrina.
wondering what
So,
happened to her.
yeah, she doesn't like
Incredibly,
going
the
by
girl
Caralee.
who now calls herself
Sabrina.
I love that
So,
name.
yeah, she
Reached
doesn't
out
like going
to
by
Roberts
Caralee.
last summer,
Sabrina.
and they
I love
met
that name.
in North Carolina.
Reached
Not
out to
far
Roberts
from where she lives
last summer
with their
and they
husband.
met
in North Carolina.
Not
Philip
far from
Cardwell
where she
and their
lives
3
with
young
their
children.
husband.
And now
Philip
newborn
Cardwell
son. And their 3
She
young
revealed
children.
the
And
astounding
now
details of her
newborn
life,
son.
including her time with
She
Crystal
revealed
and Jess.
the
What she
astounding
says
details of her life,
happened
including
on
her
the
time with
deathbed,
Crystal and Jess. What she says happened on the deathbed,
and how she
dive,
traveled from a locked Russian war to having a loving
Excuse me,
family
and
in
how
the
she
United
traveled
States.
from a locked Russian war to
So were
having a
you
loving family in the
hallucinating
United
at the
States.
time, Roberts asked?
No.
So were
No
you
seeing
hallucinating
Sabrina
at the time,
replied,
Roberts
explaining
asked?
that she became
No.
depressed, even
No
suicidal,
seeing
because
Sabrina
she felt
replied,
that her
explaining
adopted
that she
parents
became depressed,
favored her
even
brother, and that
suicidal,
she
because
wasn't
she
the
felt
daughter
that
they
her
really
adopted
wanted,
parents
just a child
favored
trying
her
to get
brother,
out.
and that she
As
wasn't
for
the
the
daughter they really
Dickinson,
wanted.
Sabrina
just a
said
child
she was
trying to
nearly
get
having
out.
trouble trying
As
to bring
for
her
the
brother down the
Dickinson,
steps.
Sabrina
As Crystal
said
had
she
asked
was
her to
nearly
do.
having trouble
She
trying to bring her
insisted
brother
she would
down the
never
steps.
try to harm him.
As Crystal had asked her
did
to
not
do.
try to
She
kill my brother.
insisted
She
she
would
would
never try to harm
But
him.
she says
did
that
not try to kill
it is
my
all in the
brother.
past.
She told
I have an
Roberts.
amazing husband,
But
I can't
she
thank
says
God
that
enough for him.
it is all in the
Carvel
past.
told
I have an
Roberts, I have
amazing
amazing
husband,
kids,
I can't
but
thank God enough
if I
for him.
didn't go through what
Carvel
I
told
went through,
Roberts,
I wouldn't
I
have
have
amazing
that.
kids.
She even told Roberts
if I
how she
didn't go through what
reached
I
out
went
to
through, I
Crystal and
wouldn't
Jess
have
to let
that.
them know how
She even
things
told
had
Roberts
worked
how
out for
she
her.
reached
And
out
this
to
story
Crystal
does
just to
not
let
end
them
there.
know how things had worked
For
out
his
for her.
part, Robert
And this
tells
story does not
Cardwell
end there.
how meeting her in
For his part,
1999 and
Robert
seeing her
tells
left in Russia
Cardwell
hit him like
how
no
meeting
other
her in
story he
1999
covered
and
seeing
seeing
her
her
left in
life
Russia
forever.
hit him
I
like
start
no other
saying to
story
myself,
he
you know,
covered,
maybe one
and
day
changed his
I
life
can rescue
forever.
an older
I start
child,
saying to
Robert
myself,
recalled.
you know,
And
maybe
he did.
one day,
4 years
I can
after
rescue
he
an
left
older
Russia,
child,
the
Robert
Russian
recalled.
war,
And he
Robert
did.
became
4 years after he
certified
left
to adopt,
Russia,
and he
the
learned about
Russian
a
war,
woman
Robert
in
became
Africa.
certified to
I
adopt,
cannot
and he
pronounce that.
learned
I'm so
about
sorry.
a woman in Dubai,
Africa.
Dubita.
I cannot pronounce that. I'm
very
so
bad at
sorry.
that. Who was hoping
Dubai,
to find an
Dubita.
American to
I'm
adopt her
very bad at that.
4-year-old son.
Who was hoping to
find an
by
American to
coincidence,
adopt
the
her
child
4-year-old
born
son.
and
Uncanny resemblance
by
to
coincidence,
Roberts.
the child
I looked
born
at his picture and he
uncanny
was my
resemblance
son.
to
Roberts made
Roberts.
3 lengthy
I looked at his
trips
picture
to
and he
Africa to
was
get to
my
know the
son.
boy and
Roberts
his mother,
made 3 lengthy
who were living
trips
in an
to
abandoned
Africa
building
to
and
get to know
sleeping
the
on
boy
the
and
floor.
his mother.
The mother says she had
who
a
were
brief
living
affair
in an
with a
abandoned
French
building
soldier,
and sleeping on
and
the
after
floor.
she
The
gave
mother
birth to
says
their
she
son,
had
she
a
feared
brief
for
affair
his
with a
safety
French
because she
soldier,
was mixed.
and after
She
she
was
gave birth
mixed
to
race.
their son,
She
she
hoped
feared
to
for
find
his
him
safety
a
because
safe
she
and
was
secure
mixed.
life in the United
He was
States.
mixed race.
Today, that
She
boy
hoped to
is
find him a
Jonathan
safe and
Gray
secure
Roberts,
life in the United
and
States.
both he
Today,
and
that
Troy
boy
Roberts
is
share their
Jonathan
own
Gray Roberts.
wondrous journeys
And
together.
both he
in
and
this
Troy Roberts share
48
their
hours.
own That's where I
wondrous
found this
journeys
story
together,
and it
and
hit
this
me like
48
wow.
hours.
It seems
That's where I
everyone's
found
story
this
has a
story,
happy
and it
ending.
hit
Roberts
me
concluded,
like,
speaking
wow.
about Crystal.
It seems
and
everyone's
Jess,
story
who,
has a
along
happy
with
ending.
Joseph,
Roberts concluded,
have
speaking
3 biological
about Crystal
daughters as well.
and Jess,
That's
who,
pretty cool,
along
you know.
with Joseph, have 3 biological daughters as well.
Let's see if we
That's
can
pretty
see
cool.
if there's
you know?
any other special things about these articles.
Let's see if we can
That we
see
find,
if there's any
because
other
I'm not
special
100%
things
sure
about
if
these
all the
articles
articles are the same.
that we find, because I'm not 100%
What happened to the perfect all the oracles are the one woman's incredible story? What happened to the more than 20 years ago? A Russian girl who incredible story. A girl was adopted by 20 years ago. A Russian girl who brought her back to Moscow. A girl was adopted by an American couple who eventually brought her back to
What
Moscow
happened to that
after
little
her
girl, and
parents
how did
say
she
tried
end
to
up
kill
back
her
in the
little
United
brother?
States?
What happened to that little girl, and how did she end up back in
Crystal
the
and
United
Jess
States?
were a young married
In
couple, eager to start a
1997,
family.
Crystal
After
and
years
Jess
of trying
were
to
a
have a
young
child
married
on
couple,
eager
their
to
own.
start a family.
They decided to
After
take the
years of
adoption
trying to
route.
have a child on
They
on
came
their
across
own.
a Russian
They decided to
adoption
take the
agency
adoption
website and
route.
saw a photo of a 9-year-old
They
girl.
came
She was a
across a
beautiful
Russian
child,
adoption
Crystal
agency
said.
website
We
and
thought
saw a photo of a
this
9-year-old girl.
is an
She
older
was a
child
beautiful
we can
child,
give a
Crystal
normal
said.
life.
We thought
Excited for
this
the next chapter.
is an older
Chapter,
child we
the
can
couple
give a
began
normal life.
the adoption process.
Excited for the next chapter.
A look at the medical
chapter.
records.
The couple began
When Crystal and
the
Jess
adoption
received
process.
the child's
A
medical
look at the
records
medical
from
records.
the adoption
When
agency.
Crystal and Jess
received the child's
documents
medical records
describe
from
her
the
as
adoption
outgoing
agency.
and intelligent.
The
One
documents
thing
stuck
describe
out.
her as
They
outgoing and
did
intelligent.
say she
But
was
one thing stuck out. They did say
psychopathic.
she was she had schizophrenia type of thing.
Crystal said,
Psychopathic.
which back then
translated as a
schizophrenia type of
mental
thing.
retardation.
Crystal said, which
I'm not really sure
back
how to
then
pronounce that.
translated
However,
as a
the
mental
agency told the couple not to be
retardation. I'm not really
concerned.
sure how to
They
pronounce
stated
that.
it was a
However, the
development
agency
delay.
told the couple
Crystal
not to
said,
be
and we
concerned.
were
They stated
assured
it was a
that this child was
development
healthy.
delay.
Crystal said,
that
and we were assured
in a good home
that this child
with
was
the best
healthy
doctors in
and
America helping
that
her with the
in
development
a good
issues
home
she
with
would
the
be
best
fine.
doctors in America
The
helping
daughter
her with
they
the
always
development
wanted.
issues she
In
would
July
be fine.
1997,
The
Crystal and
daughter
Jeff
they
traveled to
always
a Russian
wanted.
orphanage in a
In
small
July
town
1997,
of
Crystal and Jeff
Barskovich.
traveled to a
After
Russian
a long
orphanage
journey,
in a
they
small
were
town
finally united with
of
their new
Barskovich.
daughter. After
Who
a
they
long
called
journey, they were finally united with their new daughter, who they called
Caralee.
her name is Sabrina,
Caralee.
but she looked in my eyes very
Her name is
warm.
Sabrina, but
You're my
she
mama.
looked at Crystal said.
In my
They
eyes
adopted
very
a son
warm.
too.
You're my mama, Crystal said.
The couple also adopted
They
a
adopted
3-year-old
a son
boy
too.
they named Joseph.
Early
The couple
signs
also
of
adopted a
trouble.
3-year-old boy.
As
they
the
named
adoption
Joseph.
was finalized,
Early
Crystal and
signs
Jess
of trouble.
noticed certain things
As
about
the adoption was
Caralee.
finalized, Crystal and Jess
Car-
noticed certain things
Caralee.
about
Caralee
behavior.
No,
We did
Car-
see the anger, but
Caralee.
it could be explained, Crystal
Behavior.
said.
We did
Certainly
see
a
the
child
anger,
arriving to a new
it
culture,
could be
new
explained,
family,
Crystal
leaving her
said.
home. That's the only
Certainly
thing
a child
she's ever
arriving
known.
to a new culture,
More
new
problems
family,
at home.
leaving her home.
After
That's
a
the
family
only
came
thing
back to the
she's
United
ever known.
States, they settled
More
into a new
problems at
home
home.
in Georgia.
After a family
But
came
soon
back to the
enough,
United
Crystal and
States,
Jess
they
said
settled into a new
Caralee.
home in Georgia. But
Carla.
soon
Carla.
enough, Crystal and Jess
I don't know
said
how
Caralee.
Carla.
How do you pronounce this?
I don't know how Carla.
How do you pronounce this name? Started acting withdrawn and angered. Crystal quit her job in an effort to spend more time with John and angered. Crystal quit her job, but things continued to spend more time with Caralee. I'm gonna kill him. Yeah. But things continued the day after Christmas in 1998. I'm gonna kill him. When Crystal says the day after Christmas in 1998. When Crystal says the unthinkable happened. Carla. Whatever.
No,
And Carly. Joshua were playing in the backyard while Crystal was planting. Joshua were playing in the backyard while Crystal was planting. When she looked over, she suddenly heard her 48-year-old son screaming. When she looked over, Crystal told 48 hours. Lee holding Joshua over the railing of the 30 feet high deck. Lee holding Joshua over the railing. There was anger and hate. Crystal explained the Roberts. Crystal demanded Caralee put her brother down. Crystal and asked what she was doing. I'm gonna kill him. Demanded Caralee put her brother down and asked what she was doing. I'm gonna kill him. She said, "Why?" Don't. Crystal asked her daughter. I'm mad at him. And she says, "Yes, I do." The situation worsens. Kill him. Aside from the deck incident, she says, "Yes, I do." Also told her parents she was having hearing voices. Aside from the deck incident, Caralee also told her parents she was having hearing voices to a psychiatric hospital. She then spent the following months admitted Caralee to a psychiatric hospital. She then spent the following months a closer look at their daughter's past. With their daughter in treatment, a closer look at their Crystal and Jess received with their daughter in treatment. Adoption agency. Crystal and Jess revealed troubling details about Caralee's upbringing. Adoption agency that revealed
the
troubling
mother
details about Caralee's
abnormal
upbringing.
Antisocial,
Crystal said.
The document also stated that Caralee left her dirty, hungry, and
document also stated that
during her
Caralee's
time at
birth
the
mother
Russian
left
orphanage,
her dirty,
Caralee was
hungry,
in
and in
special
dorm
during
for
her time
children
at the
with
Russian
mental
orphanage,
disabilities.
Caralee was
This
in
was
special
all critical
dorm
information
for
that Crystal and
children
Jess
with
said the adoption
disabilities.
agency
This
failed to
was
share
all
with them
critical
beforehand.
information that Crystal and Jess said
No
the adoption
information was
agency
withheld.
failed to share with them beforehand.
No information was withheld.
Kay
helped
arrange Caralee's adoption in 1997. She denied hiding any information from Caralee's adoption in 1997.
And explained that
She
the
denied
medical
hiding
information
any
she
information
received
from
was
Crystal and
limited
Jess.
by
And
Russian
explained that the medical
policies law.
information she
However,
received
once
was
the parents are
limited
in
by
the orphanage,
Russian
they have access
law.
to any
However,
medical
once the
records
parents are in the orphanage,
to the doctors.
they have access to
Nina
any medical
explained,
records,
and this is their time
to
to ask
doctors.
questions.
Nina explained, and
Caralee-
this is their time to ask questions.
Caralee.
Just a sec. I have to refigure out how to say her name.
Caralee.
Finally, I figured out her
Caralee.
name is
Caralee.
Caralee comes home.
Caralee.
After almost 4 months away in
Caralee comes home.
After almost
Crystal
4 months
and
away
Joseph-
Jess had to bring Caralee home after
Crystal
their
and
insurance
Joseph-
started running
Jess
out.
had
But
to
the couple
bring
still
Caralee
believed their
home
daughter
after
was in
their
danger to her
insurance
brother
started running
running out. But the couple still believed their daughter was in danger to her brother. She was repeated this for months on multiple occasions. If I get another chance, I will kill him.
Repeated this for months
For his
on
family
multiple
safety.
occasions.
If I get another chance, I will
Installed
security
kill him,
cameras
Jess
throughout
said.
the house.
For
and
his
put an
family
alarm
safety,
on Jess installed security cameras throughout the house and put an alarm on Caralee's bedroom door. Joshua goes to
Caralee
grandmother's house. Caralee had been prescribed
goes to
heavy
grandmother's
medication, but her
house.
parents said
Caralee
they weren't
had
working.
been
And even with
prescribed
the
heavy
security cameras in
medication,
the
but her
house,
parents said
Crystal
they
and Jess
weren't
were still
working.
worried
And
for their
even
son
with
Joshua.
the
security cameras in the house.
So they decided
Crystal
to
and
send
Jess were
him
still worried
60
for their
miles
son
away to
Joshua.
live at his grandmother's home in
So
Texas.
they decided to send
Why
him
do we
60
have
miles
to
away
send
to live
him
at his
to
grandmother's
grandmother's
house
house
to
to
keep
keep
him
him
safe?
Why
Crystal asked
do we
Caralee,
have to send
because
him
I
to
may hurt
grandmother's
him,
house to
Caralee
keep him
replied.
safe?
Crystal
A
asked
psychiatric
Caralee, because I may
Dr.
hurt him,
Caralee
Brian
replied.
Kennedy
A
was one of the
psychiatric
Dr. Brian
who saw
Kennedy.
Caralee. He
was
explained
one
how
of the
Caralee
suffered from attachment disorder,
saw
which
Caralee
that he explained how
is
Caralee
an ability to
suffered
love.
from.
She does
attachment
love
disorder,
to
which
smile
in
and laugh,
is
Dr.
an
Kennedy
ability
said.
to
But I
love.
think when
she
you
does
look
love
at what
to
she's
smile
been
and
through,
laugh,
and
Dr.
when
Kennedy
you
said.
see how
But I
she
think when you look
functions
at what
under stress,
she's
she
been through,
and when you see how
become
she
very different
functions
and
under
have
stress,
significant
she
range.
can
Another
become
doctor's
very
opinion.
different and have
Other
significant
doctors who
range.
treated Caralee, another
Also had
doctor's
concerns,
opinion.
but at least
Other
one
doctors who treated
physician
Caralee,
had
another
also
opinion.
had
After
concerns, but
treating
at least
Caralee
one
during her
physician
stay
had
at the
another
psychiatric
opinion.
hospital,
After
this
treating
doctor wrote
Caralee
Caralee
during
behavior
her
was
stay
impeccable.
at the
And that
psychiatric
his
hospital,
this
proceeded
doctor wrote
Crystal and
Caralee
Jess
behavior
too
was impeccable,
often cold
and that his
and
staff
distant towards their
proceeded
daughter.
Crystal and Jess
Out of
too
options.
often cold.
By winter
and distant
1999,
towards
almost
their
a
daughter.
year
Out of
after the
options.
incident on the deck,
By
Crystal
winter
and Jess
1999,
left
almost
they
a
had
year
run out of
after
options
the incident on
and
the
had
deck, Crystal and
to
Jess
make
left.
a difficult
They had
decision.
run out of options.
We cannot
and had
continue
to
to
make
be
a
her
difficult
parents'
decision.
We
They
cannot continue
tapped
to
into
be her
their life
parents'
savings and decided to bring Caralee back to Russia so she could
into their
be
life
treated
savings
at
and
a
decided to bring
psychiatric
Caralee
hospital
back to
there.
Russia so
Back
she
to
could
Russia.
be treated
After they
at a
arrived in
psychiatric
Moscow, Crystal and Jess
hospital
arranged for
there. Back to
Caralee to
Russia.
stay at children's
After they arrived in
psychiatric
Moscow,
hospital.
Crystal and
But
Jess
right
arranged
before
for
she
Caralee
went
to
in,
stay
Caralee
at
told 48
Hour
psychiatric
News.
hospital.
48
But right
hours.
before she
Troy
went in,
Roberts,
Caralee
something
told
she
48
had
Hour
never
News.
said before.
48 hours.
I
Troy
did
Roberts
not
tried to kill my
something
brother.
she
Caralee
had never
explained.
said
I tried
before.
to pick him up because he
did
was
not
too
try to
heavy.
kill my brother.
I love
Caralee
him. Explained. I tried to pick him up.
I just tried
because he
to
was
pick
too
him up.
heavy.
I love
Mommy
him.
and Daddy just don't understand that. I
No
just tried
turning back.
to pick him up.
Despite what
Mommy
she
and
told
Daddy
Roberts,
just
Crystal
don't
just
understand
felt
that.
they had
No
done
turning
everything
back.
they could.
Despite
In the
what
end,
she
the
told
couple
Roberts,
brought
Crystal
Caralee
just felt they had done everything they could.
and left her
In
there.
the end, the couple
The
brought
last
Caralee
visit.
inside
Days later,
this
48 hours
psychiatric hospital and left her there.
Returned
The
with
last
a hidden
visit.
camera
Days
to
later,
visit
48
Caralee,
hours were who was in a locked ward at the
returned
hospital.
with a
I
hidden
don't feel
camera
safe
to
here.
visit
Caralee
Caralee.
told Roberts, I
who
want
was
to go
in
back
a
to
locked
America.
ward at the
I'm
hospital.
scared of
I
staying
don't
here,
feel safe
but
here.
Crystal and
Caralee
Jess
told
never
Roberts, I
went
want to go
back
back
together.
to America.
And
I'm
shortly
scared
after
of
they
staying
left,
here,
the
but
couple
Crystal and Jess
annoyed never
the
went
adoption
back together.
in early 2000.
And shortly after
what
they
happened
left,
to the
little
girl?
Since last time Robert saw
early
Caralee
2000.
in Russia,
What happened to the
hospital,
little girl?
he would try to get in
time
touch
Robert
with
saw
her.
Caralee
Over
in
the
Russia,
years,
but was unsuccessful.
He would try to get in touch
how
with her.
She was
Over
doing.
the years,
if she was
thriving,
if she was happy, Robert
I always
said.
wondered
I
how
always kept her in
she
my
was doing.
thoughts and
If
in
she
my
was
heart.
thriving,
If
and
she
then
was happy, Robert said.
after
I
more
always
than
kept
2
her in my
decades,
thoughts
Caralee got
and
in
my
touch
heart.
with him.
And then
The reunion,
after more than 2 decades,
in the summer of
Caralee got in touch
2021,
with him.
Roberts was
The reunited
reunited,
all happy tears for her.
In the summer of
person
2021,
he
Roberts
knew
was
as
reunited.
Caralee.
Now
All
she
happy
calls
tears for
herself
her.
Sabrina, is
With the
married
person
and has 4
he
children.
knew as Caralee. Now she
The
calls
two
herself
met near
Sabrina,
Sabrina's
is
home in
married
North
and has 4
Carolina.
children.
But how
The
did
two
she
met
end up
near
here?
Sabrina's
Robert
home
sat
in
down
North
with Sabrina to
Carolina.
find out.
I
How
wanted
did
out.
she end up here?
When
Robert
Sabrina
sat
was
down
living with
Sabrina
Crystal
to
and Josh,
find
she
out.
said it seemed like they favored Joshua
When
over
Sabrina
her.
was living
Which
with
made her
Crystal
feel
and Josh,
unwanted.
she
told
became
Robert she favored Joshua
depressed
over
and
her,
even suicidal.
which made her feel unwanted. She told Robert she became depressed
That's
and
when
even
Sabrina
suicidal. Said she created a story.
Ooh.
I told Crystal, you know, I'm hearing.
That's when Sabrina
seeing and hearing
said
things.
she created a story.
I told Crystal, you
I
know,
wanted
I'm
out.
hearing. Seeing and
Sabrina's
hearing
story.
things.
Sabrina
said,
also had a different version
wanted
of
to
what
happen on the deck that day in
Sabrina's story.
1998.
Sabrina also
When
had a
Crystal
different
asked
version
her
of what
to
happened
go
on the
and
deck
get
that
Joshua,
day in
Sabrina said she
1998.
struggled to carry her
When
brother
Crystal
down the
asked her
stairs
to go and
because
get
he was
Joshua,
too big
Sabrina
and
said
sliding
she
out of her
struggled to
hands.
carry her
Sabrina
brother
said
down
she
the
tried
stairs
to explain this
because
to
he was
Crystal.
too big and
she
sliding
was
out
like,
of her hands.
No,
Sabrina
you were
said
trying to
she
kill
tried
him.
to
And she
explain
kept
this to
saying
Crystal.
it. Sabrina told
And she
Robert's
was
like, finally
no,
said yes.
you were trying to kill him.
And she kept saying it.
Yeah,
Sabrina
that
told
really
Robert's
bugs me
like, finally
because
said yes.
sometimes kids with mental orders
that
will
really
think that
bugs
they
me
did it even if
because
she
sometimes
doesn't
kids
have
with
one. These
mental
parents orders will think that they
awful.
did it even if she doesn't have
I
one.
put
These
myself
parents
there. After she
are
met
awful.
with I put myself
Various
there.
psychiatrics
After
agree
she
recalled
met
learning that
with
she was going back to Russia. Crystal said they were
various
running out of
psychiatrics
options
agree
and they
recalled
think
learning
the
that she was
Russian
going back to Russia.
Institute will be
Crystal
better.
said
They were
Sabrina
running
said.
out of options
After
and
Crystal
they think
and
the
just
Russian
left.
Institute
At
will
the
be
hospital
better.
in
Sabrina said.
Moscow.
After
Sabrina said
Crystal
she
and
knew they
just
weren't coming
left.
back for her.
I
At
felt
the
like I was
hospital
in
in
jail.
Moscow.
But then
Sabrina
I
said
think of
she
it and I
knew
put
they weren't
myself
coming
there. She
back for
said.
her. I felt
All
like I was
those
in jail.
lyings and
But
doing
then
what
I think
they
of it and I
want
put
me
myself
to
there.
do,
She
I
said.
put myself
All
there.
those lyings and doing what
A
they
fresh
want.
start.
Sabrina
Me to do,
spent
I put
2 months
myself
in the
there.
mental hospital until Nina
fresh start.
picked her
Sabrina
up
spent
and
2
brought her
months
back
in the
to
mental
United
hospital
States.
until Nina
Then in
picked
2002,
her up
Sabrina was
and brought
adopted
her
by
back
her
to
new
United
family in North
States.
Carolina. She
Then in
lived there
2002,
until shortly
Sabrina
after
was
she
adopted
graduated
by her
from
new
high school.
family in North Carolina.
I'm so
She
happy
lived
for
there
you, girl.
until shortly after she
Like
graduated
hearing
from
the
high
story,
school.
I was crying.
I'm so happy for you, girl.
What your parents
hearing
did,
the
I
story,
hope
I
they
was
can adopt
crying.
ever again. Really.
What your parents
In
did, I hope they can
2008,
adopt ever again.
Sabrina volunteered for the nonprofit Mercy
In
Ship and spent 2 years
2008,
providing
Sabrina
medical care
volunteered
to
for the
nonprofit Mercy
underprivileged
Ship
and
and spent 2
people in
years
Africa.
providing medical
It was
care
a
to
rewarding experience, she
underprivileged
said. The love of
people
her
in
life.
Africa.
When Sabrina
It was a rewarding
returned
experience,
to North
she
Carolina
said.
in 2010,
The love of her life.
She
When
found a
Sabrina
job at a hospital. And 2
returned
years
to North
later,
Carolina
she
in
met
2010,
fifth grade teacher
she
Phil
found a job at a
Caldwell
hospital.
at church.
And 2 years later,
I fell in
she
love
met
with him
fifth
when I
grade
saw
teacher
him
Phil
interact with
Caldwell
kids.
at
Sabrina said.
church.
I fell in love with him
A family
when I
of
saw
her own.
him
If
interact
everything
with
her
kids.
parents
Sabrina
said
said.
to her, she would not be that
A family
brave
of her
parent.
own.
If everything her parents said to
they
her,
showed her
she would not be
and
that
I think
brave
what
parent.
her parents did were just
I mean,
awful.
they
Yes,
showed
you want
her
to protect
and
the
I
other
think
child,
what
but
her parents did were
I
just
don't think they
awful.
even tried
Yes,
to give
you
her
want
a
to protect
chance.
the other child, but
Phil,
I don't
and
think
Sabrina
they even
married
tried
in
to give her a
2014
chance.
and went on to
Phil
went on to have
and
3
Sabrina
daughters.
married
Last
in
summer,
2014
gave birth
and
to
went
their
on
first
to
son.
Recently,
Went on to have
stopped
3 daughters.
teaching and
Last summer,
started a new
Sabrina
job
gave
at
birth
the
to their
same
first
hospital
son.
where his wife works.
Recently,
Sabrina
Phil
now
stopped teaching and started a
Today,
new job
Sabrina
at the
Caldwell
same
says she
hospital where
is
his
not
wife
on
works.
any
Sabrina
medication
now.
and does not suffer from
Today,
any
Sabrina Caldwell says she is
mental
not
illness.
on any
Thank you for
medication
clearing
and
that
does
up.
not suffer from any
I'm surprised you
mental
don't have
illness.
any
Thank
after
you for
living with
clearing
these
that up.
people.
I
I'm
learned to
surprised you
forgive my
don't have
past.
any after
Oh,
living
girl,
with these
you are
people.
better than than some.
I learned to
Sabrina
forgive my
also
past.
says she loved Crystal and Jess
better
when she
than
was
some.
a child.
I still have a
Sabrina
high
also
respect for them.
says
She
she
told
loved
Robert,
Crystal and
putting
Jess
myself
when
in their
she was a
shoes, I
child.
would have
I still have a high
probably
respect
done
for
almost
them.
the
She told
same
Robert,
thing.
except
Putting
for one
myself
thing,
in their
I
shoes, I
wouldn't
would
take
have
a child
probably
back.
done almost the
Sabrina
same
said, but
thing.
even
Except for
so,
one
she
thing,
has
no
take
hard
a
feelings
child
towards
back.
the couple. I learned
Sabrina
to
said,
forgive
but
my
even
past.
so,
She
she
explained.
has
I have an
no hard
amazing
feelings
husband. I have
towards the
amazing
couple. I
kids,
learned
but
to
if
forgive
I
my
don't
past.
go
She
through what
explained.
I want
I have
through,
an amazing
I wouldn't
husband.
have
I have
that.
amazing kids, but
Okay,
if I don't
she
go
is
through
an
what I
angel.
want through, I wouldn't have that.
Okay, she is an angel.
Okay, so now my internet is not working.
While we wait for things to load, let me see if I can. While we wait for things to load, let me see if I can. So, I found some stuff online under the video, and it says, I found some stuff online under the video, naming a 9-year-old child. A name is part of the first red flag is don't just throw it away at that age. A 9-year-old child. The adoptive parents seem to have an idea of what they want and throw it away at that age. Wanted their child to be like, and when she didn't live up to what they want, and they just threw wanted their child to be like, and when she didn't live up to that image, they just in their head her away. A real child. Bingo, they want an internationally expressed older child, you can't erase their cultural. When you adopt a name, internationally expressed an older child, you can't erase their cultural name. Language, I also believe that they coach Joshua to say all this child. And you can actually tell it by the way he's saying it. They coach Joshua to say all feelings and what he's saying. And you can actually tell it by the way he's saying it. That's just repeating what feelings and what he's saying. These poor adorable babies, that's just repeating what was programmed. I love him. These poor adorable babies, she was labeled a psychopath and turned out to be much better. I love him. Then she was labeled a psychopath and turned out to be much better. This just shows me that she better person than her adoptive parents is very misunderstood that she disease. That she was depressed. Depression is also shows how powerful parents are and how they can manipulate others in power. It also shows how powerful parents are and how they can manipulate others in power. Love telling people how adopted by my crazy I was. Me too. 4 years ago, I cut all ties with her. People how I have no regrets about crazy I was. Me too. 4 years ago, I cut all ties with her. I have no regrets about the fact that the journalist was I understand what they're so inspired to adopt a child. The fact that the journalist is so incredibly so inspired to adopt a child, spent so long trying to find Sabrina incredibly was a wonderful name. And the fact that he spent so long trying to find Sabrina again was a wonderful name. So hard to be there for this girl. Warms my heart to see that man. There's a Reddit thread. What happened to the perfect child? After a young girl is adopted from Russia, what happened to the perfect child to believe she after a young girl is adopted from Russia, her American parents come to believe she is. We learn her story. Murder and return. Holy, these parents seem so awful and distant to her. Holy, these even in the clips, no wonder she wanted out and distant. No way of treating a child with trauma. No wonder she wanted history. Older children aren't as easy as treating a child with trauma and history. Older children aren't as easy to shape and be friends and need to nurture. Also, she got and make damned with a bunch of psychological stuff also that wasn't right and got damned with a bunch of psycho stuff she didn't need. That wasn't right and got even meds up on stuff she didn't need. Made it worse. Help honestly, even think the big problem here was the parents not knowing what they wanted or what to do. The big problem here was the parents not knowing what they wanted or what to do was something that can't plug and play. Swallow, plug and play. Parents not knowing what they want. Plug and play. My parents not knowing what parents thought she was going to get a little doll to dress up. Shitty adoptive parents thought she was going to get a little doll to dress up and help her. That didn't work out. Co-parent her little massive traumatized kid was acting weird. That didn't work out. She starts massive traumatized to find a way to get rid of weird. Bunch of clips of kids with adoption parents that to find a way to get rid of nail polish. Bunch of clips of kids with adoption parents that little girl had no nail polish. Not sure what that woman was trying to do to that kid. It wasn't not sure what that woman was trying to do to that kid. It wasn't being proper parent. The edit of this video. This was no kidding. Mention the story. Someone posted the edit of this video. Please, what happened? No kidding. Mention the story. Family adopts a girl and boy from Russia. Girl allegedly changes. Family adopts a girl and boy from Russia. Girl allegedly changes and family gives or wants to kill her brother in a shady manner by sending her to Russia for treatment. Family gives her fast forward 20 years. She is happy with her own family in Russia for treatment. Old adoptive agency lady saves her and got her family adopted in the U.S. Old adoptive agency lady saves her and got never adopted tried or wanted to hurt her brother. Only lied and played along because she's severely depressed and gave into the accusations. Only lied and played along because she's severely depressed and gave into the accusations. Correspondent was so touched by side story he ended up adopting a boy in Africa. Correspondent was so touched by story he ended up adopting a boy in Africa. Then accused her of murder. This parent got rid of her. This kid then accused her of murder.
The mom says this was not my dream. Clearly shows the root of the problem.
YouTube.
It was the mom says this was not my dream. It wasn't about the child. Shows the root of the problem. It's so sad to see how Caralee slash Sabrina was hurting. It's so sad to see how Caralee slash Sabrina was hurting. Being a parent is not a fantasy life.
Bang on.
It's as real as it gets. Trust me, I have a daughter of my own. Being a parent is not a fantasy life.
I would never send her back.
As real as it gets. Trust me, I have a daughter of my own.
If I ever adopted another child, I would never send her back. Doing my everything to get them. If I ever adopted another child, I would be.
I had the exact same thought as you when I heard the comment. I had the exact same thought as you when I heard the comment. Size Sabrina's outside beauty. The mother seems to choosing her. Size Sabrina's outside beauty as the reason for choosing her.
Okay, I think we have read. Oh wait, Alexa,
stop more.
Okay, 2 more things. I think we have read. Oh wait, let's see.
One more.
2 more things that we have here. In 2000, viewers across the country were shocked to learn a story of a Russian. In 2000, viewers across the country were shocked to learn a story of a Russian adoptee named Caralee. Caralee, who allegedly tried to throw her younger brother off a 30-story deck and was later left in a Russian psychiatric institute. And was 2 decades later, she was children's reconnected with the CBS journalist. 2 decades later, she shared her shocking story. Reconnected with the CBS journalist who birthed out a normal life. Shared her shocking story herself in the United States with a husband and 4 children. Out a normal life. Okay. For herself in the United States with a husband and 4 children. Now that I'm reading this again and again,
I have a quick question.
30-story deck.
Now that I'm
reading this again and again,
young child.
30-story deck. You left a young child
and an older one.
He was young. On a deck. They got a really young one. And don't say his sister counts. She's a child on a deck.
Alone.
You're the parent. Don't say his sister counts.
And you didn't put any safety guards in.
You're the parent.
Does anyone see the issue?
And you didn't put any safety guards in.
I have an amazing husband. I can't thank God enough for him.
See the issue here.
The now 33-year-old.
I have an amazing husband. I
can't thank God enough for North Carolina.
The now 33-year-old
reporter
who goes by Sabrina and lives in North Carolina.
Will air on Sunday.
Told reporter
I have amazing kids, but if I don't go through what I want there, I wouldn't have that.
I have amazing kids, but if I don't go through what I want there,
I wouldn't have that.
A special in 2000 described how an American couple Crystal and Jess. A special in 2000 described how an American couple's name, but I don't know if it matters because
by the way,
faces
I really
wish I
knew
their last name, but I don't know if it matters
figure out
between their names, the
faces were shown.
Like how, like
what
can't
their
you
last
figure
names
out
might
between
be?
their names,
Question.
the faces, like
don't
how,
be rude, just asking
what
like,
their last names
can
might
you?
be. Question.
I thought you could like
name,
don't be rude,
space,
just asking
easy
like,
enough. But
can you?
Do you need the last name?
I thought you could like name space.
Adopted a young Russian girl
enough,
born in 1997. Do you need the last name? Finally learned that we were going adopted a young Russian girl born in 1997. Over to Russia and picked up a little boy that we were. I also think they shouldn't have picked up 2 kids. Not when they're starting out. Like, maybe they could have waited, because I think each kid would have needed separate attention, because when you're adopted, from what I've understand, it could be a little scary, and, like, if you're going to adopt another child, right at the same time, it might be hard for the children to really get to warm up to. Well, I hope you all learned something from this story. I'm not okay with the parents, that's for sure. Well, I hope you all liked and enjoyed this content. Leave a like, ring the bell if I have one, and subscribe. It's free. Have a great and wonderful day. Bye for now.